Hey guys, how is it going? I hope everyone is doing well, day or night, whenever you tune in and see this. So this time I wanted to do something a little bit different. So I'm going to be doing shorter readings for 15 minutes for each sign. And after the live, of course, I will put in the timestamps. So hopefully right now we can get through at least 5 of the signs. So we're going to do Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, and Libra. All right. So yeah, I want to see if you guys like this, if we do shorter sessions. So I just wanted to, spice it up and try something new. All right, so we're going to go ahead and start with Gemini since we already did the Taurus reading a few days ago. Since it is officially Taurus season, I went ahead and still did the longer version for them since it was their birthday time. But I wanted to just try out with the other signs something different, like I said. So this is still going to be a general reading for everybody for each zodiac sign. So, since it is alive, right, I won't be able to put the timestamps until later, but we all have all 12 zodiac signs throughout each individual of our birth charts. So you will have Gemini somewhere in your chart, you will have Cancer somewhere in your chart, Leo, Virgo, and Libra, of course. Okay, so everybody is welcome. And what else? Yes, I'm still going to try to take a picture too of all the cards for each sign. Let me get a little tissue here. Sorry, guys. Okay. Allergies. Excuse me. So I'll try to do that as well too. And then at the end, I'll post all the pictures on my Facebook page, which you can get to in the description box below after the live is done, in case you want to see it more up close in detail and all that good stuff. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. What else was I going to say? Well, it'll come to me. So let's do what we always do, right? Let's do a little sound bell here for some grounding and healing for myself and for you guys. So just be aware it does get loud sometimes if you're listening with headphones or you're sensitive. So if you want to, you can take a deep breath in and out whenever, or just breathe normally. All right. All right, guys. So yeah, I will put this over here for now. I might try to do a little sound bell each in between each sign. We'll see how it goes. All right, since I said I'm doing things a little differently. And I also wanted to say too that if you don't already know, what your major placements are in your birth chart, I always encourage everyone, right, to go online and get a free birth chart. Even if you don't have your exact birth time, you can still find out what a lot of planets placements are in. Okay, so the reason why I say that is because depending on what's going on in your life, you may resonate, as an example, more with your sun sign or your moon sign or your rising sign, depending on what's going on. Or you just might want to check out all of them, right? So I always like to remind people of that. All right. What else? If this reading isn't seems like it's about you, right? It could also be about a person you're dealing with or multiple people you're dealing with, your general environment situation, or something to do with the astrology. Always, come back to it later if you feel like you want to. But yeah, with all that being said, let's go ahead and get into it here, Gemini. So what I've been doing is, or we're going to do, since this is my first time doing it this way, right, is we're going to do, since this reading is for April 20th to May 20th, right, we're going to start with these first 4 cards going across this way. So each card is going to be about the 4.5 week time period, okay? And then instead of normally, if you've watched me before, I would have like 3 or 4 confirmation cards. This time we'll only be having 1. We'll still talk about what's on the top and the bottom of each deck, because that's important, right? And then instead of multiple oracle cards, we'll just have 1 oracle card at the end, okay? So yeah, let's get into it and just kind of see how it goes for each sign here. But I wanted to say, in particular here, Gemini, and also how I'm going to be doing it for the other readings here too, is that your first card could be energy from the recent past. And in the recent past, that will be different for everybody. It could be a couple of days ago, a couple of weeks ago, months, or even years, right? But it's mostly, you feel it the strongest sometimes in the beginning of the reading. So that's why I say with the first card, okay? So let me go ahead and call your cards out here too. It's not that many, but I'll go ahead and call them out anyway as far as the first 4. So we have the Wheel of Fortune in the right side up position. We have the Chariot in the right side up position. We have the Empress in the right side up position. And we have the Prince of Cups in the right side up position. And then we'll talk about the other ones later. Yeah, so right off the bat, it looks like there could be a lot of good things here coming up, Gemini. Lots of changes happening in just 4 cards. 2 of them are major arcanas, right? So we'll talk about real quickly right now what zodiac signs we see as far as the majors here. So we do have with the Wheel of Fortune, there's 4 zodiac signs associated with this one particular card. Okay, so we have Scorpio energy, we have Aquarius energy, we have Taurus energy, and we have Leo energy. So, and then with the Chariot, we also have Cancer energy over here. So what does that mean? It doesn't necessarily have to mean something to you, but it could be that you're dealing with one of those signs, or you have a lot of those signs placements really strong in your birth chart, or the other person does, or multiple people, or it could have something to do, of course, with the astrology, right? We said Taurus, we're officially in Taurus season. We could break down each thing if we really wanted to get into it, but I feel like, the majority of the energies present here in your reading, Gemini, are, there's a lot of balance actually, because you actually have one of each qualifier from each element, right? So you have air signs in here, you have fire signs, you have water signs, and you have earth signs. So you have a little bit of kind of everything here as far as like some other zodiac energy that's showing up here in your reading. But let's go ahead and get into the reading, and then we'll talk about any more of that kind of sign stuff as it comes up, okay? Well, we start off your reading here with the Wheel of Fortune in the right side up position. So this is a really nice card, okay? This is showing a passage of time. It's generally about luck, and things are going to be more on your side at this time. This could have, again, started a little bit in the past in some way, or it's just starting now to really show up. It will be different for everybody since, of course, it's a general reading, right? But you see those other zodiac signs here. You see kind of, even more, right? And then you see the planets behind. So it's the passing of time, and it's also about the different zodiac energies. But what we really see, really big here is the sun, and then we also see Jupiter, right? So when we think of Jupiter, that's the lucky sign, right? The planet of expansion. Everything it touches tends to get bigger, and hopefully it's those positive things, right? So this is really nice here. And again, the energies are Scorpio, Taurus, Leo, and Aquarius, okay? So that, again, could be something of significance for you, but it doesn't have to be, okay? But what I really see here when we talk about, too, the Wheel of Fortune is this is forward momentum, this is progress, right? We'll kind of, get into well, I guess we go ahead and do it now. What's on the top and the bottom of your deck, because that's stuff from the way back past. Okay, so whatever the way back past would be for you. So let's go ahead and do that now, actually. And you do have a repeating card here, Gemini. So that's definitely interesting too, and it's in the same position in both cards in both decks. So when that happens, it's a particular message from Spirit, but we'll get into that in a little bit. First things first, and I totally forgot to set my timer. I'm like, each one's gonna be 15 minutes. Okay, we're gonna try. maybe Gemini will be a little bit more. Okay, anyway. So what we have from energy from the way back past is we have Six of Swords in the right side up position was on the top of your deck. And then we have Queen of Swords in reverse position on the bottom of your deck. And we're talking about it in relation to all of your cards here, but just, your first card here, the Wheel of Fortune in particular, or just starting there, right? So it's showing us that here in the past, there was somebody or an energy or multiple people, right, Gemini, if it wasn't necessarily you, that was really trying to figure out how to work with the mind and with the emotions, work with the crown chakra and the heart chakra. So here we see this Japanese guy that's meditating outside, and all the swords going down. The swords in the tarot represent the logical mind, our intellect. We want the swords to be up. So when they're down, it's more of that anxiety, worry, overthinking, being too much up in the head. But he knows that. He's aware of that because he's trying to figure it out, right? He's meditating. He's like, I'm aware that I could be a little stressed right now, or somebody else could be, or the environment, or astrology, or general energy, but he's trying to work on it. And what we see in the background, too, is two different bodies of water, the ocean, and then we have a little pond here. So the water represents the emotion. So he's trying to work on bringing them two together. It hasn't quite happened yet when we see the Six of Swords, but somebody is aware, or they're really trying, okay? But despite that going on, we also have the Queen of Swords in the reverse position. So this is a little bit of this energy of somebody not wanting to level up in some way in the way back past or recent past, whatever it is, just past in general for you, Gemini. But it could also be that they were taking something too serious, perhaps not being humble enough, taking their role of a leadership position or a position of higher authority a little bit too seriously. Not for everybody, but for some, right? But it also could be that these waters that we were talking about in the tarot, being the emotions, are still out of balance, right? Because she's reversed here. But if she was right side up, she would be this tall Japanese woman who's kind of like a giant standing over this island, and she's in the middle of the ocean, right? So here she would have been mastering her emotions, her heart chakra, along with being a leader, or not necessarily being a leader or a position of authority. It could also just be you, Gemini, or another person or energy stepping into their own power, being confident, right? All those things, okay? But it's still in reverse. But this is in the past, right? So when we put it together with your first card here, it's like, okay, this was going on in the past. Maybe now it's saying that luck is more on your side. Things are turning, the wheel is turning, Jupiter is coming and trying to expand things for you in a positive way. Okay, so maybe that you can, of course, have the crown chakra, your intellectual, logical brain, working with your heart chakra and your emotions, or somebody else, or the general environment situation, okay? But just to see from the past to this present, that first week that we were talking about, that is, really nice to see. That's the other thing I forgot to mention. I'm going to make a rough kind of thing here. I was saying that since we're doing the readings a little differently, for the first 4 cards, it's going to be corresponding to each week. So I wrote out that we're going to be doing, the first one will be around April 20th through the 26th, okay? The second one would be from April 27th to about May 3rd. The third one would be about May 4th through May 10th, okay? And the fourth one would be from about May 11th through the 20th. So it has like 3 extra days. Technically, the last one is, instead of 7 days, it would be 10 days, but it's not equal. So you kind of, it's all guidance anyway. It's not necessarily that these things are going to happen at those exact times for everybody, right? But we're just trying to like put a rough estimate on it. So yeah, so I'll try to remember when we're talking about each card, those dates again, and I'll even put it later in the description box below somewhere in case, yeah. Anyway, let's get back to your reading here, Gemini. So with your second card in that second week that we're talking about from April 27th through about May 3rd or so, again, not exact, we have the Chariot, okay? And that's that Cancer energy, water energy again. And here it is just like the Wheel of Fortune, it is for momentum and progress, okay? This is good energy. This could be abundance, right? With money, not just money and wealth and coins, but with all forms of abundance in your life, okay? So that's whatever you want to manifest in your life. Better health, love, career, business, all that good stuff, okay? But these are two really, great cards, and they're also the majors right here, right in the beginning of your reading. So there could be more of some changes going on in the first 2 weeks or so of this time period for you here, Gemini. Now, with this Cancer card, yes, with the Chariot card, it is Cancer, but with this Chariot card here too, there is this energy of a balance here between masculine and feminine energies that we all have inside of us. So this could be you yourself here, Gemini, or someone around you, or just in general, right? But you see the yellow and the black line. So those are pulling this chariot, this guy, right? And they represent those masculine and feminine energies, okay? But he's charging forward is, again, for momentum and progress. And so that's really nice to see. Now, when we get to your third card here, we have the Empress, and I believe she came out in the Taurus reading. I don't remember where it was, but if you feel guided, always check out the Taurus reading too that I already posted. But this Empress energy is really great to see, and again, this is your third card, so it could be around May 4th through May 10th or so, right? And that's beautiful to see in the beginning or the first week of a new month, of course, right? But she's the businesswoman, the CEO of the tarot. She's mastered her emotions, the waterfall in the background. She's pregnant. It's a metaphor for that feminine energy, planting the seeds for the future, right? And whatever she wants to manifest, okay? But this is, again, really great for momentum and positive energy here and progress. It could even be that, when we talk about, we'll get into, let's go ahead and do it now, actually. So let's talk about real quickly what's on the top and the bottom of your other deck here in relation to the Empress card, okay? So again, this is energy from the way back past, whatever that means for you. It could be a couple of days ago, hours, weeks, months, years, etc. Okay, but what we have is the Six of Swords. Again, that's your repeating card in the right side up position on the top of the deck, and the bottom of the deck you have the Ten of Cups in the reverse position. Okay, and we're talking about it with this Empress card, right? Excuse me. So what's going on here, and I also want to show you your repeating cards together before we do that. So here we have the same card, both from past energies from two different decks. And it's really cool to see how the different artists depict kind of the same energy, right? Or pretty much the same energy. But basically here, we see again that there is still this energy of somebody not fully embracing their emotions in some way, or an energy is not embracing the emotional side to things in some way, okay? We do have some progress because there's water, right? And I also said with the other guy that there was progress because he was trying to meditate. He was really trying to integrate his heart chakra and his crown chakra, right? To not be so much up in the air with all the swords, but also, have the emotions and the water there present, but not go overboard in either side, right? It's like we strive for that balance here. But with this Six of Swords too, in this past energy here, Gemini, it could be that, somebody was dealing with a sense of betrayal or mental confusion, anxiety, worry, overthinking, just like the other one about because they have their back turned towards the guy that's steering the ship, right? So there could be trust issues in the way back past with something here, but there is progress in the past, even though it was slow. But then when we put it together with that 10 of Cups in reverse, and we're talking about again the Empress with these two, right? Is that in the way back past here, somebody possibly was not ready to level up in some way. So 10 in the tarot would be the completion number, the highest, right? So we go from 0 to 10 or 1 to 10, okay? And the cups represent emotions just like the water. So somebody possibly in the past wasn't ready to advance to a next stage or level with something, or their emotional expectations were too high with something, or they weren't high enough, right? It will be different for everybody, but since it's in reverse, it's like there's some kind of definite imbalance here. But when we again put it with the Empress, it's like if cups had been right side up, a completion number, it would be advancing to a new stage, a new level of something. So let's say a career, going from entry level position to now CEO, right? As an example, but it's in reverse. So maybe it wasn't time yet, or somebody was still working on, again, expectations, emotional expectations around leveling up and what that could mean, okay? But here, when we put it together with the Empress, it's like somebody is now leveling up, or they want to, okay, or they're right about to level up in some way in a relationship, whether romantic or platonic, at work, with their health, with their career, self-love, whatever it may be, right? But this is really great to see too, because it's an embracing of feminine energy. So even though, it's just a metaphor of the card and we see this pregnant woman here, again, it's more of the metaphor of planting seeds for the future. What do you want to be in the future? Who do you want to hang out with in the future? All those things, right? So somebody is really here, Gemini, whether it's you yourself or someone around you, or the energy is wanting to ask those questions and is willing to now maybe have their expectations, their emotional expectations around a leveling up in some way, more balanced, so that they can start doing those things. Okay, now moving forward, your fourth card here is the Prince of Cups right side up. And we said this could be from around May 11th through May 20th or so, right? It's not exact. But this is a really nice card to see here as well, because it is a Prince of Cups, right? And here he comes with his cup, and it's not spilled over, right? He's on his horse. It's for momentum. It's progress. It's, positive energy. But here he has an offer for somebody, okay? So it could be an offer, like a communication. Somebody wants to communicate to you, or you want to communicate to them something, or it could be an opportunity from the universe, your spirit guides, guardian angels, what have you, right? But it's not the smallest offer or communication. It's not a page, but it's a print. So it's the next level up. So it's a medium-sized offer or communication. So as an example, what could that be? Possibly if you communicated with someone in the past only through text message, right? Now you guys are actually on the phone, or you're doing Zoom, or you're meeting in person, or whatever it is, right? If we're talking about communication, whatever it may be, okay? And also for an opportunity, maybe it's not, if you were entry-level employee before, maybe they're not saying they want you to be the CEO yet, but they want you to be the manager, okay? So it's like whatever medium or the middle stage of something means for you as far as this communication, okay? But, like all of your cards here, Gemini, the first four cards are very positive, and really only a couple of things here in the past, kind of like a warning. Now, your only confirmation card, since we're doing things differently this time, is actually another 10 in the reverse. So it has a little bit of similar energy to your other one, the 10 of Cups in reverse that we already talked about. Your confirmation card is confirming all of these four cards here, is the 10 of Wands in reverse, okay? So again, there could be a little bit of, and hold on, let me back up. So when I normally have the confirmation card, some would be talking about energy from the recent past, and some would be talking about the future energy or possibilities. I would say this could be both, but it's more of, I think, the future possibilities, not the recent past, because it's almost like a warning. Like you could have all this forward momentum and progress here if you take the warning of this, or take the warning of even the past in some way. Okay, but here we have 2 10s right in reverse, just showing you them together for a second. So we already talked about the 10 of Cups in reverse, but here the confirmation would be the 10 of Wands in reverse. So I'm sorry. Okay, 1 second. All right. Yes, right on the bell there. That's okay. We're striving for 15 minutes, but like I said, we're almost there. It's all good. So anyway, this 10 of Wands in reverse, could be, again, somebody not quite ready to level up. If the 10 of Wands was right side up, you see this woman carrying all these wands. She's at the end of her journey. So it's endings, new beginnings, right? But not so much when it's reversed. All of this could be endings and new beginnings, right? If you want to look at it that way, for sure. Okay. So it's like she would be putting all those wands down to now build a house, or she's putting all her defenses down if it was right side up, because the wands talk about our defenses, right? Am I too defensive? Am I not defensive enough? Am I blocking my own abundance, right? All those things. Am I blocking manifestations in my life or what I want from my life? But it's in reverse. So maybe somebody is, or there's an energy here, Gemini, of somebody warning you, or the energy is warning you to not, be defensive, but also to not be scared of these endings and these new beginnings, right? If you flip those 2 10s around. The other thing normally you would say with the 10 of Wands too is that sometimes you see an old man with white hair, and he's at the last step at the top of the stairs, and now he's going to put down all his wands, all his burdens, all his defenses, right? So then going to the castle or his little house with his family, whatever it is, right? And so it's almost like maybe this is like warning you here to just be, and not like anything to be like freaked out about, a gentle warning, a reminder, right? Nothing to be like super worried about, but just have time for work, but also play. I would definitely say that. And also, just again, are your defenses too low where people are taking advantage of you? Or are your defenses too high where you come off really cold and you're blocking opportunities or things that could happen? So with that, let's go ahead and do your oracle card here real quickly. We're only doing 1 oracle card this time, but always let me know in the comments down below if you like this new way we're doing the readings, just to see. All right, anyway, Gemini, so your oracle card for this time period is the Blood Angel, card number 7. And I forgot to say, this is the Remy or Rumi Oracle deck by Elena Fairchild. So I like to say Remy, but everybody's different. So Rumi was a 13th century Persian poet, and he was one of my favorites. And so when I saw this deck, I was really excited. So she's taken some of his poetry and put it together with this artist here to have a little bit, excuse me, of this like meditation kind of nice. Oracle cards are different, right, from tarot. They're not they're not necessarily predictive in certain ways, but they sometimes do overlap and will repeat things, almost like a confirmation card. But anyway, let's go ahead and read your little oracle card here. So you got the Blood Angel. All right. So it says here, Blood Angel. In the midst of the darkness, a moon appeared with its brilliance. Stepping down from the clouds, it glanced at me like a falcon that hunts a bird and steals it away. It captured me and flew back to infinite space. As I looked for myself, I could not find me, for my body had become all soul in the tenderness of love. The 9 spheres of heaven dissolved into that moon as the ship of my existence drowned in the sea of love. Do you dare place a limit on how much life you can contain? I pour of myself into your heart and invite you to become nothing and everything with me. Let us be the sunrise that greets the new day and the sunset that honors the dying of the day in a radiant glory. Let us be the angel of the light arising from darkness and the starburst in the awakening heart of a human beloved. Be the moon at the back of my heart and the sun at the front of my heart. Be wordless and wise. Let us have nothing that we know for certain and be content. Let us be all and let us be nothing. Let us be. All right, so that's beautiful. So that's the little poem. I'm not going to read all the other stuff, but there is a little meditation you can say if you want to kind of get into the energy of this card here. All right, so it says, say aloud, blood angel of unconditional life and divine love, bless me with the life force I need to obtain my divine destiny. I open to your grace with perfect trust and perfect love. So be it. That's cute. And then it says, close your eyes and notice your breath. Imagine or intend that you can sense the blood moving in your veins. So much life abounds in your body and your soul. In your own time, just open your eyes. You have completed your honoring ritual. So yeah, that's pretty cool, right? I guess that's why it's called Blood Angel. So they're saying, feel your own pulse and imagine your blood inside your body if it doesn't freak you out too much. So yes, Gemini, that is your little message here. So hopefully you got something from it. So now let's go ahead and reshuffle everything and get into Cancer here. So just give me a second here, guys. All right. And there we go. So you guys can see how I shuffle. I haven't done it on screen in a while. I do the shuffling and the cutting of the deck, and then I do my big, I call it my fish pond. Oops, let's turn it that way. So yeah, all right, give me a second here. Let's do that. Yep. So we're doing Cancer. Messages for Cancer is Cancer. Messages for water sign Cancer, the crab, April 20th. Messages for Cancer for April 20th through May 20th. What do you need to know, Cancer? Messages for Cancer. Messages for Cancer. Cancer. What does Cancer need to see? What do they need to know for their highest vibration? Messages for Cancer. Messages for Cancer. All right. Oh, I didn't see that. Okay. Messages for Cancer's highest vibrational good. For April 20th through May 20th, what does Cancer need to see? What does Cancer need to know for their highest vibration? May 20th through April 20th, Cancer. What does Cancer need to see? What does Cancer need to know? Messages for water sign Cancer, the crab, for the highest vibration. All right. This card is the one that flipped over earlier. It was like, I'm coming out again. Okay. So we will leave those there for a second and then shuffle these guys. Messages for Cancer. April 20th through May 20th, Cancer. Messages for Cancer. April 20th through May 20th, Cancer. Messages. For their highest vibration, April 20th, May 20th, Cancer. Messages for Cancer. What does Cancer see? So here. Oh, I'm not going to take that unless it comes back out again. Okay. Messages for Cancer. What does Cancer need to see? Water sign Cancer, the crab, for the highest vibration. For April 20th through May 20th, Cancer. What does Cancer need to see? What does Cancer need to know? Oh, whoa. All right. You know what I just did, guys? I pulled 4 cards. That was supposed to be from this deck. I was only supposed to pull 1 here. Wow. Okay. So I'll just take the first one then, because I thought I was doing my old way. So I always used to pull 4. So we'll just take the first one. Okay. We're going to get. All right. So let's do the top and the bottom, though, for each deck. So top and bottom. Yeah. All right, so we're going to pull everything down here. Okay, this is Cancer. All right. All right, okay. So let's do a quick little sound bell, a shorter one that we normally do. All right, Cancer. Let's get into it. All right, let me set the timer. So I will be putting the timestamps in later, like I said, after the live. Oh, I forgot your oracle card. Hold on. We are just going with the flow right now since I am doing it differently. Let's get one oracle card for Cancer, for their highest vibration. What do they need to see? What do they need to know for April 20th through May 20th, Cancer. Messages for Cancer. One oracle card for Cancer for April 20th through May 20th, Cancer. All right. Now we have it. Okay. I was like, I knew I was missing something. Okay. Here we go. So, we are going to be doing, if you're just tuning in to Gemini, we're going to do these first 4 cards in the beginning here. And each card is going to correspond to a week, okay? So we're doing from April 20th to May 20th, okay? Then we have a confirmation card for you. We also talk about what's on the top and the bottom again of each deck. And then we have one oracle card at the end here, Cancer. So again, it could be about you, or it could be about a person you're dealing with, or multiple people you're dealing with, or your general environment situation, or the astrology, collective unconsciousness. So always check out your other placements if it doesn't resonate for you. All right, so let's go ahead and call them out. So right off the bat, we have the Prince of Cups in reverse, the King of Cups in reverse, the 10 of Staves right side up, the 7 of Swords right side up. So interesting. That 7 of Swords was the one that wanted to come out kind of in the beginning. It flipped over and I put it back because I didn't draw it, right? But here it definitely showed up again. So cool. Yeah. So we also have, looks like, 2 majors here for you too. Gemini had 2 majors. So we have we'll talk about it actually when we get to it, since they're not in the first main four. But we do have some Leo energy here. We also have Libra energy, so you could be dealing with a Libra or Libra or a Leo. I'm like la la la, all the la's. Or you could have a lot of Libra in your chart, or Leo in your chart, or they could, or multiple people, or has something to do with the astrology, right? So Leo season is coming up later this summer, and or even the fall with Libra season. So just take it how it resonates for you, if it does, as far as when we talk about the astrology, other astrology signs that we see here in your reading. Yeah, let's go ahead and get into it here, Gemini. So I'm sorry, Cancer. Cancer. So Cancer, we start off your reading here with the first card, right? This could be energy that's still lingering around from the recent past, whatever that means for you. So it could be a couple of days ago, could be a couple hours, weeks, months, years, etc., or it's just your current energy now. It doesn't necessarily have to be the recent past, but we do like to mention it. Sometimes it bleeds through. Okay, it comes. It bleeds through. Okay. So when we start off here with this Prince of Cups in the reverse position, it's almost like that in this week that we're in now, right? Because this first card is about, we said, from April 20th to April 26th, and today is what, the 23rd? I think it's the 23rd. Yep, it's the 23rd. Okay, so it could be around this week that we're already in, or maybe even next week. It'll be different for everybody. But with the Prince of Cups in reverse, it's almost like there is this energy of an offer that perhaps didn't come through for you, or you were going to have a communication with somebody, or they were going to have a communication with you, and either it wasn't well understood, or didn't happen, or was just put on hold in general here, okay? And I would say that it could be because somebody's emotions here excuse me, are not balanced, right? So let me show you the card too, sorry, while I'm talking to you. All right. So this also, if it's not a communication with another person that you were going to give, or someone was going to give to you, it could be an opportunity from the universe, from your spirit guides, guardian angels, what have you, in all the different areas of life, right? We could talk about love, we could talk about money, we could talk about health, we could talk about all that stuff, right? But here it's almost like, again, it was put on hold, or wasn't well understood, or didn't happen, for some reason here. And again, when we talk about cups, right, this is Prince of Cups, it's just reversed. The cups in the tarot represent the water. So here there is too much possible emotional confusion or heaviness, or feeling really intense about these emotions, surrounding a communication that possibly didn't come through, or opportunity that didn't come through. You'll know what it is here. But yeah, if we had to say, it could be even like a little bit of stagnant energy, or an energetic blockage. And most of the time when I do my longer readings, if you've seen me before, you know that there'll be like one or two energetic blockages throughout a reading. We all have that. It's not like the end of the world here, okay? So it could just be that instead of normally speeding along on his horse, time is stopped a little bit. The energy is slowed way, 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 way down here, Cancer, for some reason, okay? So we'll get into it and find out why. Yeah, it's really weird. I don't think I've seen that in a while, but you have the Prince of Cups in reverse, and then the King of Cups in reverse. So it's like you've got the Sun and the Father here, right? So it's kind of doubly like, emotionally there's some type of communication opportunity that somebody is not understanding, or it's not well received, or it's just really intense and thick, right? And you talk about water, right, Cancer, you're a water sign. You're like all about feelings and nostalgia and all of that. Not saying that you're more emotional than another sign per se, but it's just interesting. I would have to go back and look at your last reading that I did too, because once I do them, I don't really remember them all the time, to see what the last ones that interested in seeing. But since we're here now, let's talk about what's in the top and the bottom of this main deck that we're using for the first 4 cards, okay? So this is energy from the recent past or way back past, whatever that means for you. Again, a couple of days ago, weeks, hours, months, years, etc. But what we have on the top of the deck is the 4 of Cups right side up, and then on the bottom we have that 8 of Staves, or also known as 8 of Wands, okay? So if you just look at this guy's posture, another cup, right? We're talking about this past energy with your first 2 cards here. The Prince of Cups and the King of Cups reversed, okay? Look at this guy's posture here. He's just sitting down. He's like, these cups do not excite me. What am I going to do? I'm bored. I'm just, right? So it's almost like in the past here, Cancer, emotionally, either you yourself or the person that you're dealing with, or multiple people, general environment situation, right, was not feeling excited, right? The cups aren't spilled. They're still right side up, but it's like no passion or excitement or really like a hope for something in the past here, Cancer. And when we see the 4th cup, right, he doesn't know that it's there, okay? It's kind of like larger in his mind maybe, but he doesn't even see it because he's just focused on his current circumstances, what he has emotionally, let's say, in some way that are not horrible, but not great either, right? But what he needs is perspective change. So he can just realize that if he changes his viewpoint on something, his perspective on something, or just waits up and straight up gives it time, then that 4th cup will come in that, let's say, resonates better with you emotionally about what you want to manifest in your life. Better people, better circumstances, what have you. Okay, so when we put it together with the 8 of Staves right side up, and I keep forgetting to set my timer. I'm going to get it. Okay. This is a communication card too, right? So when we're talking about, again, your first 2 cards, that Prince of Cups and the King of Cups reversed, with this in the past, there was some type of communication that, let's say, maybe came in really fast, okay? It could be a good communication. It could be a bad communication. We don't know, right? But it possibly was very surprising to somebody or multiple people because we talk about the flight or fight mode here with the birds, right? When these wands, these staves are coming in really fast and about to hit them, they're just like, like I scared my dog. I'm sorry, baby. She's like, what's wrong with you? That was funny. It's like they're coming out of nowhere, right? So it's like that surprise element and just maybe shocking in some way in the past here, Cancer. So maybe you shocked or somebody shocked the hell out of you, or you shocked the hell out of them. And that's why when we're talking about in these future, current, present energies here of the week we're in now and even next week, these Prince and both King are reverse of Cups, right? Because maybe it's just really shocking. Again, it could be a good communication, a bad communication, or good opportunity or bad opportunity, what have you, right? But it really possibly knocked someone off their feet a little bit, where they were like, whoa, this is deeper than I thought it was, or they thought it was, or vice versa, or both, or all. And so that is like the what we need here, right, is actually air energy. Okay, so if we're talking about just the Prince of Cups and the King of Cups in reverse, both cups, they're both emotions, right? So what we need here is some source, some air energy, okay? Because if you want to look at the wand, there's more fire energy, if you had to say, okay? But without air, there would be no fire, right? To light a match. So it looks like, this first 2 weeks or so here, Cancer, there could be, right, I said you could view it as stagnant energy or an energetic blockage. The energy has slowed completely down, or barely moving at all, right? And that is because possibly something needs to be reviewed from the past in some way, okay? But again, it doesn't last long. There's energetic blockages in almost every reading, and every person has moments like that, right? We're all human, so not to worry too much, all right? So let's keep going. Now, your third card here is the Ten of Staves in the right side up position. And we said this could be around that first week or so of May, so May 4th through May 10th, okay? And here we have the 10, right? The 10 in the tarot is completion, so leveling up, endings, and new beginnings, okay? So this is the 10 of Staves, also known as the 10 of Wands. Gemini just had it, but completely different, right? And so here you see this African woman, and she's got a kid on her back and one in front of her, and she's like, I'm carrying all this heavy stuff. I can't wait to put it down. I can't wait to put the burdens down. I can't wait to have an ending or new beginning, even if it's a bittersweet ending and new beginning, right? But this could be here, Cancer, that in that first week or so of May, you could be leveling up in the next stage or relationship, romantic relationship, platonic with friends or family, with your health, with your money, your love, whatever it is, okay? So there is this nice energy of now. If we talked about the first two being stagnant energy, slower down to the like snail pace energy, the turtle going in the shell energy, here the turtle's coming out and moving a lot faster, okay? Or maybe they're getting a completely new shell. I don't know, but that just came to me. I never say that. Okay. So moving forward though, then we have your fourth card, which could be energy around, I think we said May 11th through May 20th or so. We have that one that kept jumping out, the Seven of Swords, right side up. So when we were talking about laying down burdens just a minute ago, it's kind of weird because then it's like, wait, somebody here still has a few more burdens they still need to put down. When I say burdens, it doesn't always have to be bad things, right? It could just be defensiveness. When we're talking about actually wands or swords, they can be both a tool or a weapon, right? They can cut back the leaves from your path if they're blocking your path, but they also can stab somebody, right? You can use a sword to cook something over the fire, or again, stab somebody. Don't stab nobody, y'all. But anyway, what I'm saying is like the wands are the same thing, right? You can use them to hit someone, or you can use it to build a house. So there's like this energy of talking about duality in life, the light and the dark, the positive and the negative, but also in more particular with the Seven of Swords, getting adequate help. Okay, so maybe that you need help with something here coming up towards the middle of May here, Cancer, and you're not getting the right help. There could also be for some a little bit of gossiping energy, but here he won these swords. This Japanese guy won these swords at the carnival, and he doesn't need all of them, but he won them, and they're like, oh my God, he didn't win those fair and square, but they don't know what he did to get to that point, right, to win it, right, unless they were watching or whatever. Anyway, he won those swords. He's taking them. But he doesn't have to carry them all around with him. He could leave them and be like, I'll come get it when the festival is over. Or he could give some to his friends or other people. Or it's just like, dude, why do you need all these defenses? Okay. So that could be a question that you're asking yourself, or someone's asking of you, or multiple people, vice versa, etc. Cancer, towards let's say the middle of May or so. So it's like, okay, we can put down some of those swords, right? We don't need to be overly defensive. We need to defend ourselves if we need to, right? But we don't need to carry all this heavy stuff, right? So that's kind of really what I feel here, okay? Now let's go back a little bit before we go forward and talk about what's on the top and the bottom of, your other deck here. So it's again energy from the past. So we have the Six of Pentacles in reverse, and we have the Emperor. She keeps showing up in the right side up position here on the bottom of your deck, Cancer. So we'll just talk about it in relation to this Seven of Swords, right? So in the past here, something was out of balance, okay? There was not an equal give and take. The six is reversed. Normally 6, 3, and 3. 3 on one side, 3 on the other side, right? But it's reversed. So it could be that there was some type of injustice or a feeling of a lack of charity on your part or someone else's part, giving back to others, right? So normally when you see this card right side up, you see this man giving extra food and coins to these poor people on the side of the road. He only has 6 pentacles, but he's like, I'm going to give him 3 because then I'll still have 3. So it's about paying it forward, but it's in reverse. So somebody here in the past in some way wasn't giving it forward, wasn't wanting to help out those in some way. And it doesn't have to be with just money, right? So time is money. So if the 6 of Pentacles was right side up, it would be like helping someone learn a skill or a craft that you know how to do and they don't know how to do, or helping spend time with an elderly neighbor or whatever it is, or helping with animals or groceries, blah, 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 whatever. It doesn't necessarily have to be money, right? But in the past, it was an imbalance as far as there wasn't this generosity or this gratefulness, okay? And then when you put it with the Empress, though, here, it's almost like somebody, despite that going on, or maybe that was the catalyst for them to then get into the Empress mode where they're like, okay, I want to create jobs for others. I'm going to be the businesswoman, the CEO. I'm going to plant seeds for the future that are not only good for myself, but for others, right? So here's that Libra energy. And so it could be also that somebody is, when we talk about feminine energy, we're not saying that masculine energy isn't compassionate or isn't grateful, right? I would never say that. But it's like when we see that feminine symbol at the bottom of the Empress card here, it's like the feminine, the higher vibrational frequencies of the divine feminine are showing up or needed here. Maybe they didn't have it before, right? Maybe you or someone around you or dealing with general environment situation was not being compassionate enough, was not being grateful enough, or paying it forward in some way. But then here they started to get it. So when we put it together with the 7 of Swords right side up, it could be the same thing, that what's needed is more delegating, more sharing with others, responsibilities, and maybe doing that will help to put down some of the defenses. Maybe somebody just really wants to be a part of something here, Cancer, or you really want to be a part of something here, Cancer, and you haven't gotten a chance to do that yet, okay? So now moving forward, we'll talk about your confirmation card. And this one confirmation card is going to be confirming all 4 of these that we just talked about here in the center, the middle, the main section of your reading, okay? And so we have that Leo energy, the sun, in the right side up position. So this is really beautiful. And I would say that this could be more, I'm looking at it in the way that I'm doing these newer readings as more future, current, present energies, right? So it's almost like reminding you here, if you want more passion, creativity, youthful energy, enlightenment, all those good things, the brightest card in the tarot, literally the sun. If you want more of that, just, work on a few of those energetic blockages as far as the emotions and defensiveness. And if you do that, then you can get back to your best card here in the first 4, which is the 10 of Staves or the 10 of Wands. You can get back to that endings and that new beginnings and leveling up and manifesting whatever it is you want in your life, okay? So I like this here for you, Cancer. I hope you got something from it. But before you go, let's do your little oracle card here too. Here's my book. So this is the Rumi or Remy Oracle deck by Elena Fairchild. And so she's taken some poetry of Rumi. He's a 13th century Persian poet. And she's put it together with this artist and these really pretty cards here. They're mostly pretty abstract. So she's taken one of his poems for each card, and so I'll briefly get into it. But the card you got here is Victory of, Victory of Merham, is that how you say it? It's like Mary and then A-M. Victory of Merham. Okay, we'll go with that. I don't know how to pronounce all these things. I guess because he's Persian, there are some things from Persian culture, or even he was, I believe, a Sufi, his religion. So there are some certain things that I don't always pronounce correctly. But anyway, let's get into the card. We'll read the poem here real quickly. So it's card number 41, right? And it's from the Elena Fairchild Oracle deck. All right. So victory of Merham. Okay. If you are longing to caress the moon, don't turn away from it. If you are not ill, why do you crawl under a blanket to hide? If you are an aquary of sweets, if you are an aquary of sweets, why do you look so sour? You live in the spring of life, why are you withered inside? Don't fight against yourself. Don't flee from what could be your glory. Like a fearless moth, dive into the flame. Why be linked to your obsessions? Burn out in the flames until your heart and soul are enlightened. Get out of the old carcass and form yourself a new body. Why are you afraid of a fox when you descend from lions? I love that. Why be a lame ass when you could have the strength of stallions? The beloved you seek will arrive to open the door to your fortune, for love is the key that opens all your locks. You feel you are immortal, and I know you are divine. You feel you are not ready for the task, and I know that triumph is only moments away. You reach to me for protection, but you are me, and the protection that you seek is already within you. We are not apart. I am living through all that you are and all that you love, all that you have lost, and all that you offer to me in surrender. I am in you as your courage and magnificence, and any task I send to you is simply one of the tasks for which you are born. You are an eagle with wings ready to soar, so I push you from the cliff top that you may know yourself. Okay. That's beautiful. I love that one part. Why are you afraid of a fox when you descend from lions? So beautiful. So yeah, we'll just read this quick meditation if you want to get into the energy of this card and this poem. So it says, with your hands in prayer at your forehead, breathe in and out. And if you can, allow your mind to become still. Then when ready, say aloud, I call on Marham, who loves me without condition, to bring me faith, and Rumi, who loves me unconditionally, to bring me oneness with the great beloved. I call upon the unconditional loving wisdom of life and my own divine essence, and I give thanks for all that is. I give thanks for the light that will be born from the darkness, and I give thanks for the fullness of my being coming into expression now. I give thanks for the grace and mercy that guides my way, and I surrender into the love that is leading me into my divine destiny now. So be it. And then it says, close your eyes and bow your head in prayer again. And then when you're ready, open your eyes again, and you've completed your honoring ritual. So yeah, that is beautiful, Cancer. I hope you got something from it. So let's go ahead and keep moving forward. Again, I took a picture of Gemini before I started the live. So let me take the Cancer real quick. I'm going to still try to post the pictures of the cards after the live. If you want to check it out, just click in the description box below afterwards, and I'll still try to post them. Okay. Okay. So let's go now to Leo. And let's shuffle all these cards. Make sure I don't forget the oracle cards. So, yeah. I have, not been using the chat, guys, for a while now. Hopefully, I want to start opening up again, but there just was like a lot of trolls, and it was very distracting, making the videos even longer. So, I temporarily was not doing that. So, if you want to, always feel free to mention stuff in the comments if you feel comfortable, but of course, you never have to. So, yeah, I'm trying to think of what else we can talk about, while I'm going to shuffle. We did the astrology notes, I think a week ago now. So if you are into astrology and you want to learn more about what's coming up, you can always check out that video too. So anyway, let's go ahead and get in the zone for Leo. Okay. Messages for Leo. Messages for Leo the Lion. Fire sign Leo the Lion for April 20th through May 20th. What does Leo need to see? Need to know for the highest vibration. Leo. April 20th through May 20th. Leo. Messages for Leo. Messages for Leo. Messages for Leo the Lion. Fire sign Leo the Lion for April 20th through May 20th. What does Leo need to see? What does Leo need to know? What? Messages for Leo. Fire sign Leo the Lion for highest vibration. April 20th through May 20th. What does Leo need to see? What does Leo need to see? Okay. That's 4. All right. So then we do top, bottom, and then we'll do one of these to make sure I do this right. Okay. Messages for fire sign Leo the Lion. April 2020. These cards are really hard to shuffle. We will make it work. Messages for fire sign Leo the Lion. April 2020. What does Leo need to see, need to know? Okay, let me just make my little fish pond here. Get into it here, Leo. Just one. I'm too excited like last time. Okay. Messages for fire sign Leo the Lion. Vibration. For April 20th through May 20th. What do I need to see? All right. And one of these. Oh. Messages for Leo. April 20th through May 20th. Messages for Leo. April 20th through May 20th. What does Leo need to see? Wait a minute. Did we... Oh, duh. We need the top and the bottom for this one. Oh my gosh. I was like, we're missing cards. Okay. It's okay. We're going to get it. We're going to get it. Here we go. Now we're good. All right. Get it together here, Leo. Yes. All right. 1 second. So let's do a little quick sound bell for Leo too. All right. Hold on 1 second. It's distracting me a little bit. Okay, let's do sound bell here, Leo. And then we'll get started. All right. Stretch it out. All right. Okay, Leo, let's see what we have for you. Again, if this isn't about you, it could be about the person that you're dealing with or multiple people you're dealing with. General environment, situation, astrology, collective unconscious. So always check out your other placements as well, your sun, rising, and moon, and Venus, of course, for love and all that stuff. So we are doing a different spread, obviously. We're going to do 4 cards here first, right off the bat, and we have a confirmation card for you, and then we have the top and the bottom of each deck, of course, and then 1 oracle card here. So let me know, guys, if you like this kind of different reading that we're doing. We're just testing it out and seeing. Okay, so let me set my timer this time. Okay, yay. And let's go ahead and call it your first 4 cards here. So we have the 4 of Swords in the reverse position. We have the Prince of Cups again. He's been showing up in the last 3 readings for some reason. The Prince of Cups right side up. Could have something to do with the astrology. I'll look into it in a minute. We also have the Hierophant in the reverse position, and we have the King of Swords right side up. So yes. So we're saying that each of these 4 cards is going to represent a week. Okay, so the first card could be the week we're in now, so April 20th through about April 26th or so, but again, not exact. Second card we said was about April 27th through May 3rd, then May 3rd or 4th through May 10th, and then the last one here, the 4th card, would be from about May 11th through May 20th or so. Okay. So we start off here in a great placement for your first card, which is the 4 of Swords in the reverse position. And this is how you want to see this card here, Leo, right? It means that you hear someone, Leo, either you yourself or someone around you, general environment, is going to be letting go of any lingering anxiety, worry, overthinking, being too much up in their head or your head, right? And this is how you want to see this card. This process could have started from the recent past, whatever that means for you. So it could have been a couple of days ago, hours, weeks, months, years, etc. Right? But this is how you want to see this card. If it was right side up, you see this Japanese woman is bearing the sword. Don't bury the anxiety, worry, overthinking. Let it out. Deal with it. Balance it, right? So that's what you are, again, the person you're dealing with or environment around you is doing. So that's a good thing, right? That's a great place to start off your reading here with Leo. Now I want to look up this Prince of Cups really quickly because he would be Prince of Cups is Scorpio energy, right? So let me real quickly, because he keeps showing up, and I'll show you guys too. I have fanning powder that I use on my cards to make sure the cards aren't sticking. So after this reading, I'll bust out my powder over here. But let's see, are there any placements going on as far as astrology with Scorpio? Well, not at first glance, but on April 29th, Pluto, which is one of the rulers or is the ruler of Scorpio, turns retrograde. So we could ask, I have my divining rods, whether that is why this Prince of Cups card keeps showing up. It doesn't mean that the meaning of the card isn't still valid. It's just interesting so far that it's shown up in every reading. I think it was in the Taurus reading too, but I have to go back and look. So it could, again, have something to do with that Pluto retrograde. So even though the Pluto retrograde doesn't start until April 29th, a lot of people could be feeling it ahead of time. And so the other thing too is, let's look up real quickly what the last Pluto retrograde last year was. Because retrogrades can mean things coming back from the past. It doesn't mean all this bad stuff can happen. It could just be stuff that wasn't finished, or it could be the same themes coming back again, right? So let's see, Pluto retrograde. I thought I had it here in my notes, but it's just faster to do it actually through the phone. 2021 dates. Okay. So looks like Pluto went retrograde from around the same time last year. So April 27th of 2021 to about October 6th of last year. Then it started going forward again, right, where we're at now, and then it's going to start going backward again. So there could be something going on as far as the astrology around stuff that maybe wasn't finished or similar themes from last year. So I'm just going to write this down so I don't have to look it up again. So April 27th through October 6th of last year was the last Pluto retrograde. Okay. Okay. So don't worry, I won't take that time that we stopped your reading here for a second, Leo, away from you, because you're like, what the hell? We're doing my reading. But again, it could resonate for some people, right? Because it's Scorpio energy. And we do have, you showed up in your own reading. Doesn't surprise me, Leo. You tend to do that. Usually it's usually Cancer, Leo, Virgo. They always seem to majoritarily show up in their reading. But we also have, as far as the major arcanas, we have Virgo here, excuse me, and we have some Pisces energy too. So what does that mean? It could be, for some people, it could mean nothing at all. It could be that you're dealing with a Virgo, or you're dealing with another Leo, or you could be dealing with a Pisces, or you have some of those placements predominantly in your birth chart, or the other person you're dealing with does, or multiple people, or again, maybe it has something more to do with the astrology, since we have the Scorpio card too that keeps showing up. And we also have Taurus here for you. So let me count again. Sorry, you have Taurus, the Hierophant, the Hermit, Virgo, the Strength card, Leo, that's you, and then we have the World card, Pisces. Okay. So yeah, those are as far as the zodiac signs. But let's get back to your reading, because I got all thrown off talking about the astrology. So sorry about that. So we just talked about your Four of Swords in reverse as your first card for the first week we may be in now, right? And then your second card is next week, right? So April 27th through May 3rd, the Prince of Cups in the right side up position. So this is for momentum and positive energy, right? He's on his horse. He's ready to go. His cup, he's holding his cup. It's not spilling over, right? And he's looking like he's going to some type of celebration, right? He's nicely dressed. He's leaving the past behind. There's a storm back there. He's now going into better weather and hopefully better circumstances, situations, right? But the cups in the tarot do represent emotion. So it could be here, Leo, that there is by this next week or so, more favorable emotional conditions within yourself or other people that you work with, interacting, relationships, etc. But it could also be because the Prince of Cups is an offer card or opportunity communication card, right? So here he is. He's not a page, which would be beneath him, but he's not a king either, which would be above him. So he's right in the middle there. He's a knight or a prince. So it could be that there is a medium-sized communication that you want to give, or someone wants to give to you, or an opportunity, right? So whatever that means for you, right? It's not the smallest opportunity or offer. It's not the biggest, but it's right in the middle there somewhere, okay? But it does seem, that it is, springing forth, right, of somebody's like, okay, if they let go of the anxiety, worry, overthinking, being too much up in their head, and then you get the Prince of Cups, like, okay, now I'm ready to communicate and give an offer or accept an offer or receive an offer. That makes sense, okay? Maybe they're like, now I'm leading with not just my mind, but also my heart with my cup, with my emotions, okay? Now, I would say, we could pause for a second here and talk about what's on the top and the bottom of your deck here in relation to that Prince of Cups, right? So this is, again, past energy, whatever that means for you a couple of days ago, weeks, months, years, etc. So what we have is the World in reverse on the top of your deck and the Strength card right side up. That's your official card here, Leo. It's always a good omen, right? On the bottom of your deck. So in the recent past, it could have been perhaps not your time or something's time for something to have a new beginning or a new fresh start around something that's already old, but a new revitalized energy to something because it simply just wasn't the right time. It also could have been that this opportunity, medium-sized opportunity or communication maybe wasn't supposed to happen in the past yet, okay? Because somebody perhaps needed to gather their strength and their courage, whether it's you yourself, Leo, or another person or multiple people, general environment situation, okay? But the Strength card, right, is like, could also be that if it was about, it's your reading here, Leo, right? So whether it's about you being like, I was starting to feel more like myself in the past, or someone else was witnessing you being more in your element in the past, right? With the Strength card, that then in the future, they were again able to let go of the overthinking in their head, or you were able to let go of the overthinking in your head and then make that offer, that communication with something here, okay? Or just for momentum and progress, right? If it's not necessarily those things, okay? But then as we move forward here, there is a little bit of an energetic blockage, and it's really looks like you're only one here, Leo. But by the third week, so we're talking about the first week or so of May, May 3rd through, or May 4th through May 10th, whatever, it's not exact, right? We have the Hierophant, that Taurus energy in the reverse position. It'll still be Taurus season, and we're in Taurus season now, but usually the signs change around the 18th, 19th, and 20th of each month. So I'm going to look up real quickly, right? So Gemini dates. So yeah, it's Taurus season till actually May 21st. Okay. And then from May 21st to June 21st, it's in Gemini. So it could be that the Hierophant is in reverse here because for some it could be saying something about, if we're looking at it as a timing card, maybe they want you to hold off with something until Taurus season is over, but not necessarily, right? That's one way you could interpret the card. It could be that you're dealing with a Taurus, or you have a lot of Taurus in your chart, or they do, or vice versa. But, you know, also putting that aside, it's like there is the main thing I would say, right? Because the meaning of the card, the way it is, putting the astrology aside, is still valid, right? So somebody here is perhaps not feeling like a leader or feeling like themselves, if we're talking about confidence and courage, right? Like a leader, not necessarily having responsibilities over others, but just being in their power and being royal, right? It could be if it's about another person, because the Hierophant is all about schools and institutions. It's about these two women here in Greece looking up to the high priestess and asking for answers. In other decks, you see it as a male priest or whatever it is, right? So it could be a priest, it could be a mentor, a teacher, a spiritual guru, somebody who is a leader that tries to help others in some way with some type of guidance, right? Hi, Nefertiti. Yes, she's joined the reading. I don't know if you guys saw her, my cat. Anyway, when it's in the reverse position, it's almost like somebody has either lost hope in themselves or in another, as far as, again, their confidence or their leadership qualities. Maybe they're not feeling, or you're not feeling, like it's the best time for that, or that it could be a momentary feeling, or it could just be like somebody's finally decided that they don't want to be a leader, or they don't want to give guidance to others. But I don't feel like that's necessarily the case. Remember, I don't pay attention to the timer because I never pay attention anyway, and I had stopped reading for a minute. So, I feel like it's more of, Leo, like this momentary energy of maybe just a week or so, or a week or two of this energy of not feeling all the way in your power or leader or your confidence in some way, or you're feeling like that with another person that you normally would look up to or something. Okay. But let's break it down here too, because what we have on the top and the bottom of your other deck here in the past is, what is it? Two queens, right? Two leaders, if we want to say it that way. Excuse me. So you have the Queen of Pentacles and the Queen of Swords, right? One is on the top of your deck and one is on the bottom here, okay? So two queens, and this is past energy. We're talking about pentacles, we're talking about money, wealth, abundance. Sorry. And when we're talking about swords, we're talking about mental clarity, logical mind, crown chakra, right? But they're both sitting on their throne. They're both fully supported. Maybe the reason why this Hierophant is in reverse is because in the past here, Leo, you were really fully supported from your support system, friends, family, partners, mental health care worker, etc., right? And in here, you're not feeling the same amount of support in some way, or the other person is not feeling the same amount of support in some way, or they're, again, not feeling super confident in themselves, and maybe they're scared to be a leader, or they're scared to be more confident in themselves, and what that may inspire in others, or even ask of them to help others. Okay. So that's just a couple ways, something to think about here. But let's keep going forward. I think this will be the last set of readings for a moment, because my animals are going crazy. So after we finish Leo, we might break, and then we'll see. And then come back with Virgo and Libra. But anyway, we'll see what happens. I could always just, I don't know if I can pause the video, but probably not. So anyway, back to you, Leo. Like, it's about me. Okay, it's my reading. Your fourth card here, which could be energy around May 11th or so through May 20th, we were saying, is the King of Swords. Okay, so you go from perhaps not feeling all the way confident, or someone else isn't feeling confident in themselves, or not ready to level up in a relationship, at work, with their money, with their health, etc. And then here with the King of Swords, it's like, okay, I'm a king. I'm ready, or you're ready, Leo, or someone else is ready, or they're having the mental clarity and they've processed some emotions, right? Because here he is, this tall Japanese giant, right? And he's fishing, okay, using his sword as a tool here. And so he's got the mental clarity, and he also has mastered his emotions. But just like these two queens that you had here, Leo, we don't see him on the throne, but we know just by, let's say, the way he's dressed, or his weapon, right? Or just people know in general that he is a king. He's like, I'm not always on my throne, but people know that I have support behind me. People know I have a support system to help me. So that could be a message here too. Like, if when we go from the Hierophant in reverse to then the King of Swords, if you know, people don't necessarily have to see who has your back, right? You don't need to like necessarily show a list of all the people that vouch for you, or all the people you used to work with that you did a great job with. You might do that on your resume, let's say, right? But when we're talking about other areas of life, or even then, you might not put everything on there. It's just like maybe a quiet knowing, right, Leo? That there are some people or some energies here, whether they're alive or dead or both, right? Your ancestors, guardian angels, passed on loved ones, etc., and then living people too that have your back here. Okay, so let's keep going forward though, because I don't want to spend too much time on those two cards. But now we're going to talk about your confirmation card. So this one confirmation card is going to confirm all four of these, and this is going to be more of the future, current, present energies or possibilities, right? So here's that Virgo energy. And this could also be saying too, as far as timing with the Hermit Virgo energy card here, if the Hierophant in reverse being that Taurus energy, not doing something during the Taurus season, maybe it's saying do it during the Virgo season. I don't know. Or maybe it has nothing to do with that at all, but I just wanted to put it out there. So when we talk about the Hermit, I'm like, the Hierophant, the Hermit, when we talk about the Hermit card here, that Virgo energy, it's about going within. I like this card because it reminds me of the High Priestess energy, or card in the tarot. So it's about finding your intuition. This woman or person, I think it's a woman, is leaned over and she's holding the lantern. She's guarding it, right? That is her inner light, her intuition, her inner knowing. So she's guarding it. She's gone off to the forest in the middle of winter time to hear her own intuition more clearly. So when this card shows up, it talks about perhaps getting away socially in some way, whether it's energetically or actually physically from a social group or situation, but it's just temporarily, let's say, so you can hear your intuition more clearly. What is your gut reaction to things? What is your first response to meeting somebody or an energy that you pick up? How does it make you feel, right? And so when we talk about this confirmation card, it could be an energetic, not energetic. It could be just a reminder, a gentle reminder to stay in your intuition and to take those quiet moments to get in touch with yourself about how you feel about things, so you can continue to move forward with whatever it is you want to manifest in your life, right? Whether that's being a leader or not, whether that's just being more confident in yourself, or if it's just about, again, feeling your support system, and not necessarily having to show that off, but just knowing that people have your back, energies have your back, so you can, move forward. Okay. So real quickly too, let's get into your oracle card. All right. And find where my book. Yes. So you got Beyond the Threshold of Fear. Okay. And it's card number 25 in the Elena Fairchild's oracle deck. And so she has, if you've seen me before, you know, but I have to say, just in case there are like new people and all that stuff. So Rumi was or Remy, depending on how you pronounce his name, a 13th century Persian poet. And so she's taken some of his poetry and put them together with these really beautiful cards. Okay, so I'll read the little quick poem here and then a quick meditation, but I'm not going to read everything that's in here. Okay, so it looks like some kind of figure here standing maybe under the full moon or a lamp or something, but it says, Beyond the Threshold of Fear. Enter the lion's jungle. Don't think about getting hurt. Fearful thoughts are phantoms of the mind. No one is harmed in this jungle. Everything is compassion and love. It is your fear holding you back like a bar behind the door. How I celebrate for you. After so long away from home, you are finally returning. Beyond the threshold of fear, you dispense with your doubts, hesitations, cautions, and tentativeness. They are old friends with whom you no longer have anything in common. Goodbye, old friends. I wish you well, you say, while turning your face to the beaconing light of the new and yet ancient world. You are visiting as though your first time, and yet somehow also remember deep in your sacred heart. Finally, we can sit together in the charming courtyard at home. We shall tell our stories of adventure and laugh. We shall dance and sing. Eventually, day shall pass into night, and we'll gaze beneath our feet, our mouths gaping open in awe, and minds utterly blank, rendered dumb into sweet submission to beauty as we watch the world spinning on her axis. Okay. So yeah, I think I remember this one. It's really so let's see what the little meditation says if you want to get into the energy of this card. Okay. So it says, place your hands at your belly and say aloud, with the aid of Rumi, who loves me without condition, and the loving grace of Mother Earth, I lay down old fear that no longer serves my great soul purpose. I release it now with complete forgiveness, acceptance, and gratitude. Be at peace, old fear. Thank you for your teachings. Return to Earth Mother now. I no longer bind you to me. Slowly and purposefully move your hands from your belly towards the earth, as if taking the fear from your body and dropping it with reverence into the receiving earth at your feet. Repeat that movement 3 times or for however long necessary. You may also like to repeat that movement with your hands, moving from your heart down towards the earth, and then your head sweeping gently down to the earth. When you're ready, say, through the grace of Rumi, fear is replaced with wisdom. I am gently, powerfully restored to my innate divine radiance, ready to live my life with love filled with trust, patience, boldness, and tender affection. So be it. And then it says you have finished your sacred honoring ritual. So yeah, that's really pretty. I like that a lot. I think that it definitely, spoke of your first card too, right? Of you were already doing that, or someone or some energy was already doing that as far as letting go of the fear, which would be a mental cage, right? And then not being scared, and then coming into the King of Swords, the mental clarity, along with the emotions, the heart chakra and the crown chakra working together. All right, so that is your message, Leo, and hopefully you got something from it. And again, I will be posting the timestamps later. I want to keep going, but I need to feed the animals. Oh, yes. So what I'll probably do, guys, is take a really quick short break, maybe even only 10 minutes, and then I'll come back with Virgo and Libra because I didn't realize how late it is. All right. So if you guys want to join me for those other readings, you're of course welcome, but if not, that's okay too. But thank you to everybody for your energy and for your likes and your support. They're all, free ways to help the channel, and I do appreciate all of them. So if you want to subscribe, it is free, and you haven't yet, all you have to do is click on the bell icon on the bottom right and make sure it's blue and it's active when you click on it, and it'll just notify you when I put out new readings. Oh, yes, and the photo, I forgot to take this one, actually. Wait, did I take it? Let me check. I take a photo of all the readings, and I post it online on my, no, I didn't, yeah. I put it online on my Facebook, so if you want to check that photo out, all you have to do is click in the description box below, and then I'll be posting it a little bit and on my Facebook page, okay? So in case you want to see the cards more up close or in detail, I always like to do that for people, but you don't have to, of course. So anyway, I'm gonna change the title in the video to have the other zodiac signs in like 10 minutes, okay? So anyway, guys, thank you so much, and I'll see you guys later. All right, bye.